What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the most dangerous computer viruses explained in 8 minutes. Apparently, these are 6 viruses that if you download on a computer, it's literally gonna explode. But look at this one. That doesn't even look like a virus. We gotta figure out what that is, bro. That looks cute.
In May 2017, computers around the world began locking up without warning. Screens went black, files were encrypted, and a red message appeared in their place. It demanded payment in Bitcoin and gave a deadline. This was WannaCry, also known as WannaCrypt, one of the most destructive cyber attacks ever seen.
Wait, so apparently this virus was begging people to give them money, and if they didn't give them money, then they were just gonna break their computer. How is this even possible? How do you even get these viruses? We gotta figure this out.
Spread automatically by exploiting a vulnerability in Windows systems, moving from one computer to another across entire networks. Within hours, hospitals, schools, businesses, and government offices.
I didn't even think about that. All the computers at a school or all the computer at a hospital, that could actually mess up the whole world. If a freaking hospital computer got a virus, what if they were trying to order some medicine for this patient that's about to die? They're like, oh snap, we need surgery ASAP. And then the computer just shuts down because of a virus. I didn't even think about that.
Were affected, many forced to shut down critical systems. Once inside a computer, WannaCry encrypted files, documents, and photos, making them completely inaccessible. A countdown timer appeared warning victims that their data would be lost forever if they didn't pay in time. Even then, paying offered no real guarantee of recovery. What made WannaCry especially dangerous was how quietly it moved. Many systems were infected without any direct interaction from the user. Computers that hadn't been updated with security patches were the most vulnerable. And
so these people didn't even have to download anything? It just got a virus because the Windows update was glitched or something? I thought you only got viruses from downloading or clicking stuff.
The virus spread rapidly through outdated networks, leaving chaos in its wake. The outbreak slowed only after a security researcher discovered a hidden kill switch in the code. By then, hundreds of thousands of computers across more than 150 countries had already been infected.
Dude, so how do people actually fix these viruses? What?
You are an idiot.
Okay. He just called me an idiot.
In the
That's
early
funny.
2000s,
Here's the
a
next
strange
one.
and frustrating piece of malware appeared online under a blunt name, You Are an Idiot. Rather than hiding in the
That's a pretty funny thing to name your virus. You are an idiot.
background, this malware was built to make itself impossible to ignore, turning the user's own screen into the attack. Once triggered, usually by visiting a malicious website, the malware immediately began opening endless pop-up windows across the screen. Each window displayed flashing graphics, smiling faces, and the same mocking message, You are an idiot.
Bro, so when these people downloaded a virus link or they clicked a wrong link, it would just keep popping up on their screen. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Can you imagine if you were just watching YouTube on your phone and then you just started getting called an idiot over and over and you couldn't even exit it out over and over? That would be annoying.
Over and over again. Closing one window only caused 6 more to appear, quickly.
Oh my God. Every time you click the window to close it, 6 more appear. So you can't even do anything.
Taking over the desktop. As the pop-ups multiplied, system resources were pushed to their limits. The constant creation of new windows consumed memory and processing power, causing computers to slow down dramatically or become completely unresponsive. In many cases, users were forced to restart their systems just to regain control. However, restarting didn't always solve the problem. Some variants of You Are an Idiot used scripts that reactivated the attack on startup.
Bro, so if you turn off your computer and then you start it back up, it's gonna be there again? How do you even get rid of it then?
Repeating the process and trapping users in a cycle of crashes and forced reboots. The malware didn't steal data or encrypt files, but its persistence made it incredibly disruptive. I love you.
Okay, so they didn't even tell us how to get rid of it, but this one's called I Love You. Why are people making viruses that mess with your computer, but they have weird names? What?
In May 2000, the I Love You virus began when an email reached a user. That message carried the subject line, I love you, and included an attachment named Love Letter for You.txt.
Don't click on it. Don't click the love letter, bro. Don't click it.
Visual basic script disguised as a harmless text file. When the attachment was opened, the script executed immediately and began copying itself across the system. Once active, I Love You overwrote files, replacing images, documents, and other critical data with copies of itself.
Wow, that's actually annoying. So people got an email and it was like, oh, check this love letter. So a lot of lonely people were probably like, oh my God, a girl sent me a love letter. They clicked it. And then it started copying files on their computer, deleting other files. It would replace other files. So if you had pictures of your children or maybe pictures of you and your friends hanging out or important stuff, it would replace those pictures with the file. So it would literally delete all your stuff. That's annoying. Who would make it and then name it I love you?
At the same time, it accessed the user's address book and automatically sent the infected attachment to every contact it could find.
Oh my, it went through their contacts and sent the I love you to all their contacts from their name. So if if this was on my computer, it would have sent it to all my friends, and then my friends would have thought I sent it to them, but I didn't.
Allowing the virus to move from one inbox to the next without additional user action.
Annoying
Rather
as
than
hell.
exploiting complex software flaws, the virus relied on trust and curiosity. Because the email appeared personal and familiar, many recipients opened it without suspicion. Within days, millions of computers were affected, forcing organizations to shut down email systems and isolate networks to contain the damage. Security measures at the time were largely unprepared for malware distributed via email, making the attack highly effective.
Wow.
MyDoom. In early 2004, MyDoom appeared and quickly became one of the fastest spreading computer worms ever recorded.
Really?
Instead of relying on user interaction,
I have never heard somebody call it a computer worm. I always heard it called a virus. Who the hell calls it a worm?
MyDoom was designed to spread automatically, using email and network connections to move from one computer to another at an unprecedented speed.
They can send viruses through the Wi-Fi?
MyDoom scanned the computer for email addresses stored in files, address books, and cache data. It then sent itself out as an email attachment.
See, yeah, so a lot of the viruses back in the day used to do it through the email. Like they would just keep sending the virus to other people through email. I don't know how they fixed it.
Often using generic or misleading subject lines. Because the emails seem to come from real contacts, many users opened them without suspicion, allowing the worm to spread even further. MyDoom didn't just spread quietly in the background. It consumed system resources, slowed down computers,
the worm would eat the battery,
and caused noticeable performance issues.
That's
in
annoying.
many cases, infected machines became unstable, with users experiencing freezes or unusually high network activity.
That's
One
annoying,
of MyDoom's
bro.
most disruptive behaviors was its use of infected computers to launch large-scale DDoS attacks. These attacks flooded targeted websites with massive amounts of traffic.
Dude, back when I used to play Call of Duty, people would always like bounce me offline, bro. Like they would attack my Wi-Fi. I don't know how people did that, but they were mad that I was just owning them. I was a little kid. So how did they fix this?
Offline and
how do you
demonstrating
fix
how
a virus
malware
like
could be used as a weapon rather than just a nuisance? At its peak, MyDoom is estimated to have caused around $38 billion in total damages worldwide.
Oh my God, $38 billion?
Making it one of the most costly cyber attacks in history.
This is the most expensive virus ever. It took away $38 billion. Because think about it. If they if someone's running a business, right? Let's say they're selling cake. They need to use their email on their computer to, send people emails. Yo, you want to come buy some cake? But they couldn't because they had a virus.
Also opened a backdoor on infected systems, allowing remote access without the user's knowledge. This meant compromised computers could be controlled from the outside.
Bro, this virus made it so someone can control your computer.
Further expanding the worm's reach and potential
Good thing I never got this one.
Bonzi Buddy.
What? That looks so cute. How could this be a virus, bro? I gotta see this. I would have downloaded that. I'm not gonna lie.
An application named Bonzi Buddy appeared on home computers. At first glance, it looked like a harmless desktop companion.
I would have downloaded
to help
it.
users browse the internet,
tell
jokes, and manage basic tasks. Bonzi Buddy would greet you when you turned on your computer, offer tips, and sometimes even sing songs.
So how is this a virus if it's so nice? Did someone design this to make it look so happy, but it's actually stealing your data or your credit cards?
Its cartoonish voice and wiggly animations made it seem more like a quirky friend than a threat. But behind the friendly exterior, Bonzi Buddy was far from innocent. The software collected personal information, tracked browsing habits, and displayed intrusive ads. It could slow down computers and install unwanted programs.
What?
While it was technically a helper, many considered it malware because of how aggressively it collected data and interfered with normal computer use.
Wow.
Bonzi Buddy became infamous not just for its spying, but also for how persistent it was.
It would spy on people's computer. This freaking cute little gorilla.
Even after uninstalling it, leftover files and settings could remain on the system and affect performance.
I hate that. I used to hate when I would uninstall something from my computer and then it would still be there in the background. Like, get off!
Over time, antivirus programs flagged it as malicious, and its popularity quickly faded.
Wow.
Petya.
Okay, we got two more. We got this Petya ransomware and then the MEMZ one. I gotta see what the MEMZ one is, bro. That does not look like a virus.
Petya ransomware was identified in 2017 and operates at the system level rather than
Wow, this one was 2017, so this is very recent. All the other ones were like 2005. This one's recent. I didn't know they still had viruses.
file level. Unlike typical ransomware that encrypts individual files, Petya targeted the master boot record, taking control of the entire system.
I don't know what any of this means.
The computer would restart and display a fake check disk screen, simulating a disk check. Then, a skull appeared, flashing white and red colors, along with a message
creepy.
instructing users to press any key. Only then did the ransomware reveal that the files were fully encrypted and inaccessible, demanding payment in Bitcoin to regain access. Petya spread mainly through email attachments, infected documents, and network vulnerabilities. It could move quickly across connected computers, locking entire networks and preventing access to essential files.
Dude, if I saw this pop up on my computer, the red skull just boom, dude, I'd be freaking creeped out.
The ransomware was particularly effective against systems that had not been updated or protected with strong security.
Okay, so what I'm starting to learn is you need to keep updating your freaking systems because y'all
showing how
are
a single
y'all
exploit
gonna get a
can compromise
virus.
multiple machines at once. Petya did not target individual files selectively. Instead, it took over the system entirely, making recovery without proper backups extremely difficult. Organizations, businesses, and critical infrastructure were affected.
Wow, even bridges and like trains. I didn't even think about that because trains run on like a computer network. Wow, they will shut down the whole train system.
Often leaving users unable to access programs or data for hours or even days.
All right, here's the memes one.
MEMZ.
What?
MEMZ first appeared in 2016 and quickly became known as one of the most chaotic pieces of malware ever created. It wasn't built to steal data or make money. MEMZ was designed to demonstrate how far system control could be pushed, turning a normal computer into a non-stop cascade of errors and disruptions. MEMZ was typically downloaded and executed by users themselves. Before running, it displayed two clear warning messages stating that serious system damage would occur. Despite this, many people proceeded out of curiosity.
Bro, people downloaded this even though they knew it was a virus? It says this is the last warning. The creator is not responsible for any damage made using this malware. Do you still want to execute it?
Once activated, MEMZ began triggering a series of actions across the system. Random pop-up messages appeared, windows started moving on their own, the colors invert, and system sounds played without warning. As the infection continued, MEMZ interfered with basic system functions. Keyboard input became unreliable, screen effects intensified, and common commands stopped behaving normally.
There was just a bunch of memes flying around your screen forever?
The malware deliberately stacked these effects, making the system increasingly difficult to control while still remaining technically alive. At the end of the attack, MEMZ overwrote the master boot record. Once this happened, restarting the computer became impossible, meaning you could no longer use the computer.
Bro, so you downloaded this meme thing, and then even if you shut down your computer, you just couldn't use your computer anymore? That's the craziest virus ever. Who would use that?